Hello, welcome back to Bev Turner today on GB News. Lots of you getting into Twitter poll about the strikes. If it were a few days, that would be fine, but this is ridiculous. They're even doing the 23rd and the 24th. All those small businesses who are relying on this, not against the unions, but they are only hurting the customers and businesses that rely on them. Let me know what you think, won't you? Now, it has been almost 3 years since London began adopting low traffic neighbourhoods as a way to try to reduce through traffic in residential areas. I don't know about you, but it's caused chaos where I live. With the ultra low emission zone further expanding next year, Sadiq Khan is continuing his goal of making the capital net zero carbon by 2030. So with the scheme now being rolled out in other areas of the country, what is its true impact? Our reporter Alice Porter has been finding out.
These quiet residential streets are what some people like about LTNs, with barriers forcing traffic away, encouraging people to walk or cycle. Others say that this is the reality of LTNs, claiming that they just push cars to other roads. Asher Moses owns an electric taxi company and says LTNs are bad for business.
After you, madam. There's 3 locations. You can't actually enter the LTN. It forces you into a dead end. But drivers don't want to come here because they're scared of getting a ticket. There's not enough signage to let us know what's an LTN.
So the LTN where the fine is that where we've just come through?
We've just come through and we've just got £60 fine.
Lee, you've been a cabbie for 10 years. How much have you been paying in fines?
I think this year alone it's up to probably £500 or £600.
Right now our country is in crisis. We need to remove them to allow vehicles move through these low traffic neighbourhoods to get our economy moving again and stop penalising the consumer. We're going to do the same trip the long way round. A trip that normally takes 40 seconds is going to take us 15 minutes.
Whether LTNs reduce traffic and improve air quality is widely debated. But Duncan Dollamore from Cycling UK says the evidence that they work is clear.
If you introduce a traffic scheme today, it's unlikely to change people's traffic behaviours or travel behaviours the following day. We're creatures of habits and it takes some time for us to adjust our behaviours. But what the research shows is that when you introduce these schemes, it not only reduces traffic and air pollution within the scheme, but it also does so around the boundaries.
When it comes to short journeys, I'm sure a lot of people may think that with LTNs it may encourage people to perhaps cycle or walk instead of driving. But for a lot of people who are doing longer journeys, perhaps delivery drivers, there's no way that LTNs will force them to change their habits.
We have a massive percentage of our journeys in the UK that are under a mile, and many of those are driven currently. So even if we're only shifting some of those short 1-2 mile journeys from driving to walking or cycling, then there's a massive benefit to these schemes.
LTNs are not the only way that Sadiq Khan hopes to reduce emissions. Recently, he announced that the ultra-low emission zone will be significantly expanding next August. But for businesses which are trying to be green, like Moses' electric cab company, it makes LTNs even more frustrating.
We're clean, we're green, we're safe, we're professional drivers. Why are electric taxi drivers being penalised when they invest £70,000 in the mayor's strategy?
Another round of rail strikes this week will force even more drivers onto London's roads. And with only 7 more years for the mayor to reach his goal of making the capital net zero carbon, even more radical changes may be needed. Alice Porter, GB News.